ko ay nabigyan ng pagkataon na magsalita muli rito sa inyong programang Kara-Alaala. So ang i-discuss ko ngayon ay yung one of the most important aspects of reproduction or reproductive management of water buffaloes, and that is estrus cycle and heat detection. So ito ay essential for improving breeding efficiency, increasing pregnancy rates, and ensuring the success of dairy and genetic improvement programs. So understanding how to properly detect estrus allows us to inseminate animals at the right time, reduce reproductive failures, and ultimately increase milk production and profitability for our farmers and cooperatives. So over the next siguro ilang oras pang nila dito sa akin, we will explore the physiological basis of the estrus cycle, behavior and physical signs of estrus, common issues in heat detection, and practical field techniques that can be applied both at the institutional herds and smallholder farmers. So to begin, let's emphasize why reproduction is such a critical component of water buffalo production. So regular and successful calving is the backbone of both dairy and meat production. Without consistent pregnancies, we cannot maintain steady milk yield or achieve herd expansion. So understanding the estrus cycle is fundamental. By knowing how the estrus works and when the female is in her fertile window, we can properly plan breeding activities, whether natural mating or artificial insemination. So one of the biggest challenges in buffalo production is heat detection. So unlike cattle, buffaloes show more subtle signs of estrus, especially during the cooler months or hotter months or warm months, or when they are under stress. Because of these subtle behaviors, it's easy to miss the right breeding time. So accurate heat detection makes a significant difference. When we detect estrus on time, we can inseminate at the optimal moment, resulting in higher conception and pregnancy rates. This is essential for both farmers and institutional herds trying to improve productivity. Naalala ko kasi ito ay para doon sa ating mayroon ba mga agriculturist Kaya medyo na-change siguro yung but as mentioned by Ma'am Kay a while ago, ang linya ko talaga sa breeding and production, kaya ito ay part naman ng breeding. So this is what we would like to emphasize. Ako'y natutuwa at ako ang first palabasa doon sa module na itong ginagawa ngayon ng PCC. So this slide summarizes the very heart of reproductive management in a simple but meaningful chain. Everything starts with pregnancy. If there is no pregnancy, there will be no calving. And without calving, we cannot produce a new calf or start a new lactation period. A buffalo produces milk only after giving birth. So when there is no calf, there is no milk, which directly affects the farmer's livelihood. Milk is the primary source of daily income in buffalo dairying. Without milk, the family or cooperative loses a stable income stream. And without income, it becomes difficult to sustain farm operations, invest in better nutrition, improve facilities, or secure a better future for the herd and the farmers. This simple chain shows why good reproductive management, especially proper heat detection and timely insemination, is the foundation of productive and profitable water buffalo enterprise. When we say a buffalo is not a pet, we emphasize that it is not key for companionship. It is an economic investment. A buffalo represents a livelihood, and its reproduction, milk production, and overall performance directly determine the income of the farmer or cooperative. Because it is a business asset, we must manage it professionally with proper feeding, healthcare, record keeping, and especially good breeding practices. When we treat the buffalo as a business, not a pet, we make decisions that ensure productivity, profitability, and long-term sustainability. So on this slide, we outline what we aim to achieve in today's session. So although it was mentioned a while ago, the objectives of this module, but specifically for this topic that I'm presenting to you, we want to understand the phases of the estrus cycle and water buffaloes. Knowing the cycle helps in planning breeding programs effectively. Second, we aim to identify behavioral and physiological signs of estrus, which are critical for timely insemination or mating. Third, we will learn practical heat detection techniques that can be applied directly on the farm for better reproductive management. Finally, we will discuss factors affecting heat extraction, such as nutrition, environment, and health, so you can recognize why a buffalo may or may not show clear signs of estrus. By the end of this session, you should be able to apply this knowledge practically in your farm or whatever, or in your research setting. So let's go over some key reproductive parameters of water buffaloes. First, the duration of estrus. Or ito, doon sa talagang title kasi hindi ko pinimix up yung heat or estrus, pero isa lang yan. Kaya pag heat kasi medyo hindi siya masyadong to differentiate or to distinguish, kasi estrus cycle yung nakalagay doon. Normal pag estrus cycle merong ang spelling ng estrus may OUS pero pag estrus lang, U lang yan. That's what I learned from course in the reproductive subject during our school days. So, the duration of estrus or heat can range from 5 to 36 hours with an average of about 18 hours. This is the period when the female is receptive to mating. And next is the estrus cycle interval, which is the time between successive heats, typically ranges from 18 to 24 days, averaging around 21 days. The gestation period for buffaloes lasts roughly 300 to 320 days, which is about 10 to 11 months. And buffaloes can technically be bred any time of the year. Kahit anong oras, anong araw, what season of the year, ay pwedeng i-breed yung buffalo. However, the actual pattern of heat and breeding may be influenced by factors such as nutritional status, body condition, management practices, and seasonal changes. For instance, yung poor nutrition or harsh environment conditions can reduce heat or estrus expression or fertility. So this slide gives an overview of the estrus cycle in water buffaloes. I mentioned about the average estrus cycle, and this consists of two main phases. Meron tayong tinatawag na luteal phase at saka follicular phase. Itong follicular phase, where follicles develop in the ovary, characterized and the luteal phase characterized by corpus luteum formation. The entire cycle is tightly regulated by reproductive hormones, which orchestrate the timing of estrus, ovulation, and preparation of the uterus for possible pregnancy. So, the estrus cycle in water buffaloes has an average length, as mentioned, 21 days, and it is composed also, aside from the two luteal phases, meron itong 4 phases. So, ito yung proestrus, estrus, metaestrus, and diestrus. And yung cycle na ito is controlled by reproductive hormones. Primarily, yung mga hormones na yung estrogen, progesterone, luteinizing hormone or LH, yung follicle stimulating hormone or FSH. And understanding these phases and hormonal influence is essential for effective estrus or heat detection, breeding, and reproductive management. So, ito yung definition ng estrus cycle. When we talk about estrus cycle, it is a series of endocrinological, physiological, and behavioral events that occur in the female within the period of one estrus to the next estrus. And normally, as I've said earlier, this is 21 days, especially for these cows. And I already mentioned about the four main phases, the proestrus, estrus period, or the heat period, metestrus, and diestrus. So, itong proestrus, during this time, the ovarian follicles began to grow and mature, leading to an increase in estrogen production. This rise in estrogen triggers subtle behavioral changes in the buffalo, such as mild restlessness, increased alertness, and interest in other animals. This phase prepares the female for the coming estrus, signaling that she is approaching her estrus or heat period. Yung estrus naman, ito yung period when the female is sexually receptive. Ovulation occurs about 8 to 12 hours after the end of estrus, making this the optimal time for artificial insemination. Ano naman itong metestrus? Ito ay, this occurs after ovulation, marked by the formation of the corpus luteum, and the estrogen levels, talk about the hormone, the estrogen levels drop while progesterone rises to support potential pregnancy. Yung diestrus naman is dominated by high progesterone. The corpus luteum is maintained unless pregnancy occurs and the female shows no signs of estrus. So this is the specific way in defining estrus cycle. So estrus, that is day 1, female receptive to male, high estrogen, mating possible ovulation, that is 8 to 12 hours after estrus end. Metestrus, that is days 2 to 6. Post-estrus, female not receptive, influenced by luteinizing hormone, and ovulation occurs. Diestrus, this is the period between heats, no sexual desire, dominated by progesterone, that is the hormone at this period of the cycle. And then proestrus, this is the preparation for estrus, influenced by follicle stimulating hormone, and the sexual activity resume. Sorry. Okay. So this is the ovarian structure in the estrous cycle of the cow. The ovary is the primary female reproductive organ, performing exocrine, or the egg release and endocrine hormone secretion functions. The key structures during the cycle: follicles develop and mature under follicle stimulating hormone influence, contain the oocyte or the egg, and the Graafian follicle mature, or the mature follicle ready for ovulation. The corpus luteum, or hemorrhagicum I should say, forms immediately after ovulation, and the corpus luteum produces progesterone during the luteal phase, and the corpus albicans regress CL, indicating the end of a cycle. Well, I'm sorry, but I think when you had a training, for example, in ovarian palpation, I think that is the time that you appreciate very much for this, because ito talaga ay sa demonstration or sa practicals ay talagang mapipil or ma-apply itong mga ganitong sitwasyon, ano, or itong mga sinasabi. So this is the structure within. Ito ay ovary ito. So within the ovary, mayroong follicles yan that contain the oocyte developed under the influence of the follicle stimulating hormone. Mayroon itong Graafian follicle. The Graafian follicle na nakikita nyo dyan sa slide ay ready to ovulate. And then meron tayong corpus hemorrhagicum that forms immediate after ovulation sa baba. And then the corpus albicans regress CL, tinatawag nito, marking the end of the cycle. So the stroma and connective tissues support ovarian structure and hormone production. So ito na yung ovary. Kasi if we talk about this topic, itong sa estrus detection or estrus cycle at talagang mayroong pinaka main role or yung talagang focus dito ay sa ovary. Ito yung primary reproductive organ in the female, and the functions is yung produces and releases eggs, secretes hormones like estrogen and progesterone, and the key structures inside the ovary, ito yung sinasabi ko nga kanina o na-mention ko lagi, yung corpus luteum at Graafian follicle. So ito naman yung hormonal control of the ovarian cycle. Ito ay makikita dyan sa slide. And this is regulated by the hypothalamus pituitary ovarian axis, which is andun yung FSH na nag-stimulate ng follicular growth and development. May LH siya, yung luteinizing hormone that triggers ovulation and formation of the corpus luteum. And estrogen, yung nagpuproduce ng developing follicles and stimulate also estrous behavior and prepares the reproductive tract. At saka yung progesterone na sinisecrete ng corpus luteum na nagme-maintain ng pregnancy and inhibits new follicular development during the phase or the luteal phase. So yung prostaglandin na nag-cause ng luteolysis allowing a new cycle to begin for another cycle. So the estrous cycle has two major phases. Ito na-mention ko earlier. And one is the follicular phase, which is marked by the growth and development of the follicle, which contains the egg or the oocyte. And this ends with ovulation when the mature egg is released. And luteal phase is characterized by the formation and development of the corpus luteum. And the corpus luteum secretes progesterone to prepare the uterus for possible pregnancy. So this is the normal estrous cycle. So the day one, that is estrus, the female is in heat, receptive to mating, ovulation occurs shortly after. And day 2 to 6, development of corpus luteum begins to form, progesterone starts increasing. And day 7 to 17, that is the corpus luteum fully developed, progesterone is at its peak, supports possible pregnancy. And day 18 to 21, the corpus luteum regresses. And if no pregnancy occurs, corpus luteum breaks down and the estrogen rises to start new cycle. Yung CL na nakalagay niya, hindi centralosonan. That is my abbreviation for the corpus luteum. So the hormonal changes in the estrous cycle, we have the estrogen that is the peaks during estrus, responsible for heat behavior and sexual receptivity. Progesterone high during the estrus maintains the uterus for potential pregnancy. And the LH, or luteinizing hormone, triggers ovulation, releasing the egg from the follicle. So this is the ovarian changes during estrous cycle. Ito yung pinakita ko kanang ovary. At during the period day 1, the Graafian follicle or the mature follicle ready for ovulation. So in day 2 to 3, follicle transform into a bleeding structure post-ovulation. And day 4 to 5, early corpus luteum, the formation of corpus luteum begins, progesterone starts to rise. And day 6 to 7, the corpus luteum is small in this period, and the corpus luteum continues developing. Lalaki ng laki yan. So, and then the day 7 to 10, lumalaki or malaki na rin itong corpus luteum. And itong corpus luteum nagsasecrete ito ng progesterone, and this is already fully functional. And on day 10 to 17, malaki pa rin yung corpus luteum dyan. At yung corpus luteum na sinasabi ko ay remains active, maintaining the high progesterone level. On day 18, the corpus luteum regresses. So, yung corpus luteum breaks down if no pregnancy occurs. And of course, when we talk about the hormone, the progesterone level declines. And D19 to 21, this is where you can see or you can palpate the corpus albicans. I said see because we're not going to use ultrasound, makikita yan, but by palpation feeling, kaya mafe-feel mo rin. And in here, there is an inactive scar tissue remains, and the hormone estrogen rises to start a new cycle. The estro cycle is controlled by endocrine and neuroendocrine mechanisms. Hypothalamus secretes GnRH, which stimulates the pituitary, and pituitary releases gonadotropin, which are these FSH and LH that act on the ovary. And the ovaries produce steroids, itong estrogen and progesterone, which regulate fully development, ovulation, and prepare the uterus for possible pregnancy. And the uterus produces prostaglandin F2 alpha, binanggit ko na rin kanina, nakita niyo, which helps in regression of the corpus luteum if pregnancy does not occur. Overall, this interaction ensures cyclical changes in the ovary and uterus, coordinating heat or estrus, ovulation, and preparation for fertilization. So, hormones involved, nabanggit ko na yung estrogen, progesterone, LH, FSH, at yung prostaglandin. So, reproductive cycle relates to various phenomena. Ito yung puberty and sexual maturity, the stage when the animal becomes capable of production, the breeding season, periods when the females are most fertile or fertile and receptive to mating. Estrous cycle, the recurring sequence of physiological and hormonal changes preparing the female for ovulation and possible pregnancy. Postpartum sexual activity, this is the resumption of reproductive activity after giving birth. And aging, the gradual decline in reproductive efficiency and fertility over time. Understanding this phenomena is key to effective and herd reproductive management. So when we talk about reproductive performance or estrous expression, it's important to remember that multiple components regulates these processes. Environment, genetic, physiologic, hormonal regulation, behavioral, and psychosocial factors. We talk about environment, ito yung temperature, nutrition, and overall management, which directly affects the heat expression and fertility. Sa genetic naman, ito ay influence ng natural fertility levels and responsiveness to hormones. When we talk about, say, physiologic factors, ito yung animal age, health, and body condition that affect how well the reproductive system functions. At yung hormone regulation naman is central, that is estrogen, progesterone, LH, FSH, and prostaglandin drive the entire estrus. Ito yung mention ko kanina. So when we have these behavioral factors, which determine how clearly a buffalo shows signs of heat. Some show strong signs, others ay yung binabanggit ko na kanina pag-usapan earlier, yung silent estrus. So finally, itong psychosocial factors, this include stress, social hierarchy, handling, and interaction with other animals can suppress or enhance heat expression. All these components work together, so any imbalance can affect reproduction. So ito yung hormone concentration relative to days in estrus. Ito, nababanggit na kanina, although it is in graphical form, nakikita lang natin dyan yung FSH, yung mga hormones, different hormones, saka yung estrogen, yung luteinizing hormone, progesterone, saka yung prostaglandin, how it functions, at paano trend or pattern. We talk about this cycle, which is from day 0, time when the animal is in estrus, up to the time, again, that maglalandi siya. So within one cycle, kung hindi siya na-impregnate at hindi siya na-breed at na-buntis. So, the factors affecting estrous cycle, ito yun. Unang-una is nutrition. It is one of the most critical factors influencing the estrous cycle. When a buffalo has adequate and balanced nutrition, especially energy, protein, minerals, and vitamins, the reproductive hormones function normally and heat signs are clearer. However, poor nutrition or negative energy delays follicular development, weakens head or estrous expression, and can even stop the cycle temporarily. Animals that are underfed, kung kulang sa pagkain, mababa ang timbang niya, or recovering from stress, will often show irregular or silent estrus. So in practice, maintaining good body condition scores, provided quality forages and ensuring mineral supplements are essential to support a normal and healthy estrus cycle. So another one is ambient temperature plays a major role in influencing the estrus cycle. When buffaloes experiencing high environmental temperature, they undergo heat stress, which suppresses hormone production, reduces feed intake, and weakens heat expression. So during hot months, buffaloes may show silent or pag mainit, doon sila nag-express ng hindi ganong halatain or weak yung kanilang paglalandi, at saka shorter yung duration ng estrus. Or when talk about doon sa release naman ng egg or ovulation, delay yung kanilang pag-ovulate. So heat stress also affects fertility, reducing conception rates. So providing shade, wallows, yung di ba mahilig maglulublob itong mga buffalo, yung adequate water and cooling strategies, for example, sprinkling, help maintain normal cycling. So managing ambient temperature is essential in ensuring reliable and detectable estrus in buffaloes. So photoperiod or the length of daylight also influences the estrus cycle in buffaloes. So buffaloes are generally short day breeders, meaning they tend to show stronger heat signs and better fertility when days are shorter. Typically during yung malamig cooler months. So changes in the light affect the animal's internal hormonal rhythm, especially melatonin secretion, which in turn impacts reproductive hormones like GnRH, LH, and FSH. During long hot days, estrus may become weaker or less frequent, while shorter days help stimulate better cycling, and understanding photoperiod sensitivity helps us anticipate seasonal changes in estrus expression and plan breeding schedules more effectively. So age is another important factor affecting the estrus cycle. Young heifers that have just reached puberty may have irregular or weak estrus as their reproductive system is still maturing. Their cycles gradually become more consistent as they reach full sexual maturity. On the other hand, itong older animals may show reduced fertility, less intense estrus or heat signs, and longer intervals between cycles due to natural reproductive aging. So both very young and older buffaloes may have irregular cycles. The most reliable and fertile estrus expression occurs in animals that are in their prime reproductive stage, healthy and well managed. Stress, whether from heavy workload, handling, transportation, or poor housing, has a strong impact on the estrus cycle. When a buffalo experiences physical or psychological stress, the body releases stress hormones like cortisol, which interfere with reproductive hormones. And animals under stress may show silent heat, delayed ovulation, or even temporary suppression of the estrus cycle. Overworked or poorly handled animals often kakain ng kukunti, loss yung condition niya, at consequently, ay may weaker yung kanyang estrus signs. So minimizing stress through gentle handling, proper workload, comfortable housing, and good management is essential to maintain normal cycling and improve reproductive efficiency. So systemic and reproductive health problems can significantly disrupt the estrus cycle. Conditions such as cystic ovary can prevent normal ovulation and lead to prolonged or irregular cycles. A retained placenta after calving delays uterine recovery, making the animal slow to return to estrus. Diseases like brucella or brucellosis cause infertility and pregnancy loss, severely affecting reproductive performance. Infections such as pyometra or pyometritis, ito yung namamaga yung kanyang matris, keep the uterus filled with yung pus or nana, preventing cycling altogether. So other systemic illnesses like fever, parasitism, or metabolic issues also interfere with hormone balance and heat expression. Addressing these health issues promptly is essential to restore normal cycling and maintain herd fertility. So, heat detection is one of the most important management practices in any breeding program. So, it maximizes reproductive efficiency by ensuring animals are inseminated at the correct time. Ito na yun sa topic ng heat detection. So, accurate heat detection also reduces days open and shortens the calving interval, which is critical for maintaining productivity in dairy and breeding herds. When we identify estrus properly, because we improve conception rates, because insemination is timed with ovulation. So finally, effective heat detection supports AI and all breeding programs, making sure every procedure, whether natural service or artificial insemination, is done at the optimal moment for success. So when detecting heat, there are several important practices to keep in mind. So use proper heat detection aids, that is tools like a teaser bull. Dito sa atin may mga ginagamit, sa PCC may mga ginagamit na teaser bull like vasectomized bulls with chain ball markers and heat mount detectors. Well, in itong heat mount detectors, I think this is not so common in buffalo, but in beef. But of course, we can also utilize this one. Greatly improve accuracy, especially for animals that show silent heat. Second, it's essential to maintain a breeding calendar. Ito, meron tayo sa PCC nito, in FAPCA, in the other regional centers, especially in those Mindanao. They maintain a breeding calendar or weekly list of animals expected to return to estrus. Monitoring these cows closely helps ensure timely detection and reduces heats on our estrus. When needed, you can use heat synchronization or hormonal treatments. Ito yung gumagamit tayo ng pang-estrus or pang-synchronize ng estrus. And these tools help manage and control the timing of estrus, especially in large herds or when implementing fixed-time AI programs. So by combining these strategies, heat detection becomes much more efficient and most reliable. So when observing heat or estrus, consistency and timing are very important. Animals should be observed for 20 to 30 minutes at least 2 to 3 times a day. So early in the morning, late in the afternoon, or maybe pag medyo confined naman sila, halimbawa, kalagitnaan or during lunchtime, at hindi naman nainitan yung mga animals, lalo pong may-shade, and you can apply this one. So short but frequent observation periods help catch heat signs that may only appear briefly. So make sure to observe all females and record every sign of estrus. Even minor behaviors can be important. So kailangan ito yung pag-record. So proper recording allows you to track patterns and avoid yung mga mamimiss yung paglalandi nila. So it's also helpful to organize records so that animals likely to be in heat can be easily identified and monitored closely. So kung mayroon kang recording, madali mo siyang masundan at alam mo na kung kailan ulit siya mag-show ng estrus because mayroon talaga siyang regular estrus period kung hindi siya na be-breed. The best time for observation are during the cooler parts of the day. As I mentioned, early morning and late afternoon. Many farms also do additional checks around 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Sa atin dito sa PCC, the gene pool, during the time when I was also part of it, I was managing this farm, ay maaga, meron tayong naka-assign na caretaker dito, caretakers, na nag-observe starting 4 o'clock up to 6 o'clock, and then sa hapon naman, we start sa mga 6 o'clock up to 8 or 9 o'clock. So, around 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. when buffaloes are more active and heat signs are clearer. Finally, assign one responsible and trained person to observe and properly record the sign of estrus. Consistent observation by one individual improves accuracy and reduces errors. So accurate heat detection is critical for successful reproduction. It leads to higher conception rates because insemination is done at the optimal time relative to ovulation. And it also helps achieve shorter calving intervals, allowing animals to produce more calves over their productive lifespan. And accurate detection contributes to improved herd productivity as more animals conceive on time, reducing unproductive days and supporting overall farm efficiency. So behavioral signs are key indicators of estrus in buffaloes. Animal often show restlessness and frequent urination. So yung hindi siya mapakali at umihi ng pakunti-kunti, signaling doon sa hormonal changes. So they may mount other animals, sasampa sila sa ibang animals or allow themselves to be mounted, which is a clear sign of sexual receptivity. Estrus is associated with bellowing and increased general activity as the animal becomes more alert and active. And females may actively seek the bull or other animals, indicating readiness to mate. Observing these behaviors carefully is essential for timely and successful breeding or AI. So, there are several key behavioral signs to identify estrus in buffaloes. Ito yung standing heat, when the female animal still, when another animal mounts hair, this is the most reliable signs of estrus. Restlessness, increased movement and agitation as hormones peak. Mounting or being mounted. Active mounting of others or allowing mounting signals sexual receptivity. Clear mucus discharge. Vaginal mucus appears indicating the follicular phase. Bellowing, vocalization increases, reflecting behavioral changes associated with estrus. Monitoring these signs helps ensure timely detection and successful breeding. Physical signs of heat are observable changes in the female's body that indicate estrus. Ito yung swollen vulva, ito yung enlargement due to increased blood flow. Clear vaginal mucus discharge, it is a hallmark of estrus, open, stringy, and transparent. Moist and reddish vulva indicates the heightened estrogen levels. Increased body temperature sometimes occurs during peak estrus. Drop in body temperature can occur in some animals after ovulation. So more frequent urination helps increase pheromones and signals readiness to mate. Careful observation of the signs along with behavioral cues improves the accuracy of heat detection. The most reliable and best sign of heat in a heifer or cow is when she stands still and allows another animals to mount her. This behavior, known as standing heat, directly indicates that the female is sexually receptive and ovulation is imminent. When other signs like restlessness, bellowing, or mucus discharge are helpful, standing heat is the definitive indicator for timing breeding or artificial insemination. In addition to standing heat, these are other secondary signs that help identify estrus. Bellowing or vocalization, increased calling or vocal activity signals sexual receptivity. Tail deviation, the tail may be lifted or deviated to one side, that is either to the right or to the left, which is a subtle but reliable physical cue of estrus. Observing these additional signs alongside the primary ones improves accuracy in heat detection. Another important physical indicator of estrus is a swollen and reddened vulva. This occurs due to increased blood flow and hormonal changes during the follicular phase. While it may not be as definitive as standing heat, noticing a swollen and reddened vulva can help in confirming that the animal is in estrus and ready for breeding or insemination. During estrus, a female may exhibit frequent urination in small amounts. This behavior is caused by hormonal changes and serves to spread pheromones signaling readiness to mate. Although not a primary sign, it is a helpful secondary indicator when combined with other behavioral and physical signs of estrus. Restlessness is a common sign observed animals during estrus. Nakita naman nyo yan. The female becomes more active, moves around frequently, and may show agitation. This increased activity reflects hormonal changes and helps in identifying animals that are in heat, especially when combined with other behavioral and physical signs. Sorry. Sorry. So another subtle indicator of estrus is sudden drop in milk production on the day the animal is in heat. This occurs because the cow or buffalo redirects energy toward reproductive activity rather than milk synthesis. While this is not a primary sign, monitoring milk yield alongside behavioral and physical signs can help in accuracy detecting estrus. During estrus, some animals may show a reduced appetite or appear dull while feeding. Walang ganang kumain, ano? This happens due to hormonal changes affecting their normal behavior. Although it is secondary sign, observing changes in feeding behavior together with other signs helps improve accuracy in detecting estrus. Some additional signs help confirm estrus, especially in the late stage. Following the male buffalo or bull closely, the female shows interest in the bull and may actively seek him out. This indicates sexual receptivity. Late estrus sign, dry or unclear mucus discharge. As estrus progresses, the clear vaginal mucus may become scant or less obvious, signaling the end of the fertile period. Recognizing these late signs is important for timing insemination accurately. Another method to detect estrus is direct observation of the vagina using a speculum. This allows careful identification of the cervical opening, which may appear more open or receptive during estrus. While more technical and usually performed by trained personnel, this method provides a precise confirmation of estrus, especially in animals showing subtle or silent estrus. It is silent heat in buffaloes. This is common phenomenon in water buffaloes. It occurs when heat signs are weak or barely noticeable, often due to low estrogen levels. This is especially frequent during hot months when environmental stress suppresses behavioral expression. Silent heat makes detection challenging, so careful observation and the use of heat detection aids or hormonal synchronization are often necessary to ensure timely breeding. Physiological causes of silent heat. Silent heat can result from several physiological factors. Poor follicular development, which is underdeveloped or unhealthy follicles fail to produce enough estrogen to trigger visible heat signs. Negative energy balance, when the animal's energy intake is insufficient, reproductive hormone produces is suppressed. Stress and poor nutrition. Environmental management or nutritional stress reduces estrogen levels and weakens heat expression. Addressing these factors is essential to minimize silent heat and improve reproduction efficiency. There are several effective techniques to detect estrus in buffaloes. Ito yung visual, may heat mount detectors, tail choking, vaginal mucus scoring, activity monitoring device. And combining these techniques improves accuracy and reliability in heat or estrus detection. So to detect estrus efficiently, meron tayong, or the farmers can use several aids. Yung tail choke shows mounting activity as the choke rubs of when another buffalo mounts, naalis ito. So pedometers, I mentioned already, and activity monitors track increased movement, which often occurs during estrus. Teaser bulls can help identify females in estrus through their behavioral response without using a fertile bull. And combining these methods improves accuracy in estrus detection. So ito na yung round of estrus series of physiological and hormonal events occur in cows, and the rising estrogen from the mature follicle triggers behavioral signs of heat, and this follows by surge of yung LH, yung nag-induce ng ovulation, which is approximately mga up to 20 to 30 hours. But I mentioned about the ovulation period, it's 12 hours after estrus period. At the same time, follicular growth and maturation peak, and reproductive tract becomes more receptive for fertilization. And these coordinated events ensure optimal timing for breeding or artificial insemination. Ito na yung techniques for heat detection, marami yan. And merong visual, painting, o bilang ko na use of CCTV cameras, monitoring changes in cow activity, progesterone tests, vaginal probes, use of taser animals, chin balls, and ito yung mga ginagamit. And using combination of these techniques increases accuracy in identifying the optimal breeding time. So ito yung sinabi ko yung sa tail choke method. So simple and effective way to detect estrus. Ito ay ginagamit din sa buffalo's tail head. And when another animal's mount here, ito yung nararub off siya. No? Ibig sabihin, nabubula siya. Ito ay papakita o indicating na siya ay naglalandi. So it's inexpensive, madaling gamitin, and helps farmers identify heat without advanced equipment. Ang isang disadvantage dito at yung buffalo kasi mahilig magwalo sa water, kaya madali siyang mabula sa mud. So heat mount detectors are pressure sensitive patches that change color when a buffalo is mounted. They are particularly useful in detecting silent heat, where behavioral signs are weak or effective to observe. These devices help farmers identify estrus more accurately, especially in large herds. Yung activity monitoring naman, ito yung nabanggit ko na kanina, at itong buffaloes in heat tend to show increased activity, which these devices can detect. Madidik ng device ito. While this method is highly accurate, it is more, ito mahalang ito, than traditional techniques like visual observation or using the choke. So close observation and monitoring. Regular and consistent monitoring of animals is essential to detect heat accurately. Pay attention to behavioral changes like restlessness, mounting, vocalization, physical signs, as I mentioned na kanina, and record observation systematically to track patterns and predict optimal breeding time. Use aids like yung binanggit ko, yung T at TOG, activity monitors, mount detectors to enhance detection efficiency. So the best time for observation, ito observe animals during early morning, yung nabanggit ko rin kanina, at in the late afternoon. And monitor at least 3 times, mentioned 3 times a day. Well, of course, you can spend around 20 minutes each session for accurate detection. So several factors influence how clearly buffaloes express estrus. Itong binanggit ko rin kanina, and it's also related, yung nutrition, body condition, are critical as undernourished animals may show yung hindi nga maganda yung paglalandi niyan. Yung heat stress, and then housing and handling, nakaka-apekto ito sa comfort and activity. And of course, the postpartum period and overall health status, these play an important roles with illness or reproductive disorders potentially masking estrus. So buffaloes are highly sensitive to heat. During hot periods, feed intake and hormonal activity decrease. This lead to silent heat, where behavioral signs are absent or weak. Reduced heat stress farmers can provide cooling measures. Ito yung nasabi ko na, pwedeng palublubin siya, bigyan ng shade, or sprinklers to improve comfort and restore normal estrus expression. To improve heat detection, ito yung mga strategies na pwedeng apply. Record keeping, synchronization protocols na ginagawa rin naman natin sa PCC and even in some other livestock species. training farm personnel, ensures proper observation and use of detection aids. Finally, improving animal comfort through proper housing, nutrition, and cooling measures supports normal expression. So, best practices for heat detection. Observe animals, of course, yung nabanggit ko na rin kanina, the sums are observing thrice a day, and combine behavioral and physical signs for more accurate detection, and yung paggamit ng mga detection aids. So, ito yung ginagamit na itong indicators during early, mid, and late estrus. Ito yung mga symptoms. Pag halimbawa yung animal ay, yung sa appetite niya ay walang gana, so mayroon ka ng meron ka ng expectation na siya ay nasa early estrus. Pag lalong-lalo na kung talagang wala na talaga ganang-gana. So ito ay nasa kalagitnaan. At pag late naman, normal ulit yung kanyang appetite. So yung bellowing, yung pag-uungaw ito ay sometimes lang kung ito ay early pa yung paglalandi niya. So ito pronounce kung siya ay nasa kalagitnaan ng paglalandi or landing-landi na talaga. At pag late naman, ito ay very seldom. So excitement, it looks frequent in the beginning but get excited in the later stages when it is in the early estrus. And kung nasa mid-estrus na naman, pronounce na siya at late estrus, normal. So sa vaginal mucosa naman, yung kanyang vagina is, yung kulay is pale pink. Pag ito ay nasa talagang landing-landing na siya, that is, of course, there's already an hour, so normally it's 18 to 16 hours from the time na naglandi siya. Pink yung color niya, or reddish. So, more pronounced. But if palipas na, that is 16 to 24 hours, the color of the vaginal is pink to pale pink. So, medyo hindi na gaano clear yung or distinct yung kanyang color. So, pag leaking other animals, early estrus, that is silldam, during mid-estrus ay open na yan, at sa late naman ay silldam. So monitoring with mounting with other animals, occasionally kung ito ay nasa pag-umpisa pa lang ng pag-estrus niya, but pag ito ay nasa mid-estrus na siya, ay seldom din at the same time doon sa late estrus, itong sa mounting with animals. So standing still when mounted, early estrus ay allows to be mounted pag talagang siya ay estrus na o landing-landing na, common na ito. At pag late estrus naman ay seldom. So sa body temperature naman, so sa early estrus, slight yung kanyang increase ng temperature. Pag ito ay landing-landing na or nasa kalagitnaan na ng kanyang paglalandi, it rises sharply. But it starts falling back to normal pag siya ay palipas o pagpalipas na yung kanyang paglalandi. So yung kanyang urination, yung ihi ng ihi, so frequent pag early estrus. Ganon din sa mid, normal naman pag late estrus. Kaya pag titingnan natin, ito pag meron tayong idea. But the thing is, pag halimbawa ay talagang nasa kaligitnaan, so of course you have to consider some other signs na talagang i-indicate or magsasabi na ito ay talagang nasa mid-estrus na siya. So yung uterine tone naman, yung kanyang matris, pag if you're going to palpate the animal, yung kanyang uterus, yung early estrus, normally ito indicator ng mga technicians, pag yung lalo mga gumagawa ng AI kasi pinapalpate nila yung animals. So pag early estrus, tight and turgid yung kanyang uterus. But kung ito ay landing-landing na, ito ay medyo matigas na talaga. At mayroong, pag i-scorean mo yan ng 1 to 3, plus 3 na yung score. There is a scale for that, for the palpators or yung mga nagpapalpate o mga technicians. At para masabi nila na ito ay umpisa pa lang, ito ay kalagitnaan, at ito ay talagang palipas na lang. So, ibig sabihin yung kalagitnaan ay talagang matigas na yung uterus. So, pag late estrus na, ay moderate na yung kanyang tone ng uterus. So swollen of the vulva. So wrinkles on vulva lips start disappearing and lips swollen. So pronounced na siya pag mid-estrus, normal pag late estrus. But you see in buffaloes, we experience for how many times na talagang gumagawa kami ng ganito. Itong sa yung swollen ng vulva sa buffalo ay medyo mahirap i-detect. So pag may nakitaan mo na talaga siya ng mga gano'n na swollen at saka yung iba yung kulay na kanyang vulva ay ito ay talagang masasabi mo na siya talaga ang animal na madali nating ma-check at makita yung kanyang pag-express ng estrus. So, mucus discharge from vulva. So ito ay copious, clear, and watery kung ito ay early estrus. Pag mid-estrus naman, copious, turbid, and sticky. Pag ito ay late estrus na, ito ay cloudy, ito pa lang lesser and quantity. Konti na lang siya. So ito yung I mentioned about mucus discharge. Ito yung characteristics ng mucus discharge pag nasa early, mid, at late estrus. Pag ang characteristic turbidity, kung ito ay nasa umpisa pa lang ng kanyang estrus, clear like water. So malinaw na malinaw. Pag nasa mid-estrus na siya ay turbid o cloudy na siya. Kaya pag halimbawa, of course, masasabi doon sa viscosity, ay pag kukuha ka ng sample din doon sa fingertips mo, tapos i-stress mo siya, magkakaroon ng bilog sa gitna. So, yung turbidity, pag late estrus na siya ay cloudy sometimes with blood tint. So yun ay, anong ibig sabihin nito? May kasamang konting dugo, and ibig sabihin doon, malamang na siya ay nag-ovulate na. But this is seldom expressed or can be seen in buffalo. So viscosity, thin and watery. That is when the estrus is at early stage. Thick when the estrus is at the middle, and thick pa rin pag nasa late na siya lang estrus. So the quantity, copious sa early at saka mid, but less na in quantity pag siya ay late estrus. So elasticity, less elastic and breaks when flowing down from vulva. Pag siya early, mid ay very ropey and elastic. Late estrus, less elastic and breaks when falling down the ground. So, ito na yung when can a buffalo be bred? A heifer can be bred once he weighs 300 to 350 kilograms. It's around 1.5 to 3 years old. Poor management may delay breeding until 4 years of age. And a cow can be inseminated or naturally bred 45 to 60 days after calving. So, kailan ba dapat nasisimilyahan? Allows heifer to cycle for at least 2 to 3 times. Palipasin mo, sinasabi may landing lock yan, no? Before insemination or service by a bull. And the best time to inseminate is towards the end of estrus. So, timing of AI. So, mayroon tayong tinatawag na AM/PM rule generally applied. So, ovulation occurs 8 to 12 hours after end of estrus, and fixed time, artificial and possible with synchronization. So, ito yung sinasabi kong AM/PM role na kung makita siya sa umaga naglandi, AI in the afternoon. And if seen in the afternoon, AI the next morning. Ito yung sinasabi natin yung AM/PM role. So, but in the latter, because AI timing during estrus, the insemination during the latter 2/3 of standing estrus for best results, if the animal has just gone out of estrus, insemination should occur within a few hours. So morning observation, inseminate immediately if the animal is in estrus. So repeat in the afternoon if still showing. Ito ay pangkaraniwang pag halimbawa wala kang idea kung kailan siya naglandi or kailan siya nag-start, so we can do this method. The challenges, itong challenges subtle signs compared to cattle. So ibig sabihin, buffalo show more subtle signs of estrus compared to cattle. And heat signs are often more pronounced at night or early morning. Silent heat occurs are common, making detection of estrus difficult. So the challenges. silent heat, where signs are not easily visible, inadequate observation time, limits detection accuracy, poor nutrition can reduce cross-expression, and stress and poor housing negatively affect reproductive behavior. So reasons for slow reproductive or failure to conceive in buffaloes. Ito yung heat signs are subtle and not easily noticeable. Long interval before returning to heat after calving. Ang studies dito ay mga 30 to 40% of which are missed. And most reliable signs at nabanggit ko na kanina ay yung standing still when mounted. Practical recommendations: ensure proper nutrition, providing adequate energy and minerals, providing cooling facilities to reduce heat stress, train farm personnel in effective heat detection, and combine visual observation with heat detection aids for higher accuracy. So in summary, conclusion, understanding the estrous cycle is key to improving reproductive outcomes in buffalo. Heat detection using combined behavioral and physical science is crucial for successful breeding. And use of monitoring tools alongside observation to increase accuracy and achieve the best results. So I think that's all. Sana nasa tamang oras lawas sa pagkakali ni Ma'am kay kanina. So thank you very much for listening.